We are gearing up from what we understand to move into the growth policy update process. We received the grant funding. And could you update us on where we're at on getting that going, so we can make sure that we let the people know what's going on with that?
We're still waiting for the return on a request for proposals. What is the date on that? The 5th?
Ish, yeah, I don't remember the
I
date.
believe the end date for the return is February 5th for the request for proposals.
Okay, thank you.
Would you mind signing my paperwork there on your left? Right here with the paper clip. This one.
Oh, this one?
Please.
Do we have to sign this one too?
That's your copy.
Sorry.
Or I can recycle it if you don't want.
Did you get a copy of? Okay.
I'll give you this back for a minute.
Thank you.
Are you staying?
I'm going.
Thank you. Thanks, Nicole.
No copy. Right. No. Okay.
We will move on to the 11 o'clock Scott Old Road request for tax penalty and interest for vehicles. Should we read this then, or?
No, I don't think the whole thing verbatim is necessary.
This is a request from Scott Oldroyd, who is the owner of Paradigm Mine. For a reduce in taxes and fees approximately $2,900. And he would be able to repay the remaining balance by the end of the month, approximately $11,967.46.
Well, I guess my comment, after I read the letter and I understand the predicament that he's in. I guess if he can guarantee us that he will make that payment, and not just say that he's, I'd feel better about that. It is one thing to say it and one thing to do it.
I think if we were to grant it, like you say, I think we'd have to have a date.
Mm-hmm.
This offer would be good until this date certain.
So this offer would be good until January 31st.
Yeah. Pretty immediate.
And basically what he's asking for, just the penalties to be waived, right?
Yeah.
He's still paying the actual tax amount that he owes.
Correct. Yeah. So had he paid him on time, of course, there wouldn't be the interest in penalties, so it's not money we've planned on.
Mm-hmm.
The flip side of that is, you do for one, you do for all. But the law also gives us that discretion for a letter such as this, where somebody lays out the situation and is willing to make that kind of an honest disclosure and plea.
Well, I think it says in the letter that, he could have declared bankruptcy and went a different way,
Mhm,
and we would not have the opportunity to recover any of this money.
mhm.
So I think it's a good faith effort to try to make the county whole.
Yeah.
Do you have a comment, Shirley?
I have a question. January 31st isn't very far away, and does this have to be notification by mail? And if it is, if he doesn't live across the street and hand deliver it, it ain't gonna get there. Just something to kind of think about the mail system isn't gonna be somewhere and back in 3 days.
We don't need to advise him by mail.
We can call him, right?
He's requested a phone call. I would, if we went this route though, I would be inclined to give him a couple more days, maybe next Tuesday, for example.
I think we need to have it in writing. I really do.
And for that, we can send it via email. That's how he contacted us to
Mhm.
start.
So I need a motion then, I guess, to forgive the amount of $2,900 as long as the payment for the balance, approximately $11,967.46 is received by, what do we wanna say, February 7th or 5th? What's today? Today's the 28th.
28th,
Let's say the 7th.
The
Yeah.
7th?
7th.
Is there a motion for that?
I want to word all that. I guess the motion would to forgive Scott Oldrod the $2,900 in penalties for the taxes that he does owe of the amount of, what is it, 11,000, what is it?
$11,967.46.
If he can guarantee to make that payment by February 7th of 2019.
Is there a second?
Yes, I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to allow us to remove the penalty of $2,900 from Scott Oldrod's taxes on the condition that he pay the full amount by February 7th. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
opposed, same. Motion carries. Any other, that's pretty much does the agenda for today. Is there anything else for discussion?
Will you call Mr. Oldham about that?
Yes, I will call him after,
Okay.
as soon as the meeting's over.
We want to do our community update.
Oh, okay. Well, we did kind of. I didn't get yours though.
I think we did the three of us, but that, yeah.
So I guess it was maybe the previous week, I assisted in the interviews of a clerk recorder treasurer assistant position, and we made a decision on that. I attended the after-action review for the aircraft accident that was here. I did tour the detention facility, which I'm required to do. And I think that's really pretty much about it. You know, attended some various board meetings.
I went to the Capitol for the Board of Crime Control budget hearing. I left to make it here on time for this meeting, but there were no questions of us specifically at that point. I expect that may come as the session continues. It was also a very tough, but also an honor to be able to testify for the Mason Mormon Memorial at the Capitol. Went to the Solid Waste Board meeting, the Community Development Team meeting, and local advisory, the LEPC meeting. And as far as the detention center goes, yeah, we should actually put that on the agenda and tour it as a commission too. And we should be doing that at least quarterly. So, yeah,
It was kind
I'm
of
glad you went.
It was an introduction for me, because I had no idea what was in our building there and how it was laid out, so it was a good experience for me.
Mhm. It's helped us out a lot.
And part of that actually was related to the after-accident review, is how our dispatch center responded to when that aircraft accident happened, and some of the challenges that they faced. And so it was good for me to see firsthand really what they do there and how busy that can get, and the protocols that they have for the various accidents. So yeah, it was a great experience.
And I'm glad you had it one-on-one to start. I think that's a great way to do it. Yeah.
I attended the Rocky Mountain Development Council Finance and the board meeting in Helena for Thursday. I didn't make the LAPC. So if there's no other business, yes, Debbie?
I have a quick question. It just dawned on me at the end of this, with this new office hours and then you adjourn the meeting at 4, is there any time during the office hours, you three with Ann, can decide to come back in here and reopen the meeting to the public? Okay, it just dawned on me.
Even if something came up,
Yeah,
for example, if somebody came in and said, I really need you guys to make a decision on the DUI task force contract. What we would have to do is a revised agenda, because it's not on the agenda, so we can't do any business whatsoever that's not on the agenda. The office hours is for what we described earlier.
right.
Teresa came in with letters for us to
Right.
sign that we had already approved.
So even if something is down here on the consent agenda,
Those all have to be done in a public meeting.
so
Yeah.
it would have to, if something came up you guys forgot about or whatever, it would have to wait till the next, gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Did you not say that you signed checks last Monday afternoon?
We signed a
No.
letter for the WIC program that was discussed in the morning. Because we had a draft from Teresa that had to have a couple of changes in it. We approved signing it during the meeting.
But no checks.
I
And
just
we don't sign
understand why-
checks, Shirley.
I just don't understand why you can't adjourn and then have office hours. It seems to me that would be more open to the public.
Actually, sure that we are going to do that.
Good,
That was our intent today, before we got beat up,
okay,
okay?
okay. I just think that it would be, for you guys, it would be more transparent to adjourn the meeting and then have whatever office hours you would like in the afternoon, but not have it contained in the meeting.
Did you have a question?
Just a quick question, Mr. Chairman. I'm not sure, I'm probably in the wrong venue here to ask this question, but the hospital district board was scheduled to meet but canceled that meeting. And we've heard that there's been a tour by St. Pete's personnel coming down here. Is there any information that we have that we can go to, or a person that we go to have that information, which is a follow-up on what we presented last week at the meeting regarding a financial sheet that was given to us? We're still waiting on some of that information that's never been responded to from that side. So I was just wondering if we have anything, Mr. Chairman.
There has been people from three or four different facilities who have been down to tour the facility. They're in discussions with the district and the board about some kind of an agreement. They have a lot of non-disclosure items involved in that agreement. So that's kind of where they're at. They're negotiating with several people on whatever the process is of the partnership or whatever they're gonna end up doing. And then once
Makes
the
sense.
board gets done, I would assume they would bring that to us.
All right, makes sense, thank you.
So I would invite everybody to the trust board meeting, which is February 7th in this room, and it's on Thursday. We changed our meeting dates. So, just so you know.
Is that 1 o'clock?
Noon.
No.
You know? Is there anything else to come before the commission?
Yeah, one more thing. We agreed to buy pizza for the board training.
Oh,
You provide food to get more people to attend. We generally split between the local establishments that sell pizza, or at least that's what we've done in the past, based on how many people are coming. Are you guys good with that, to do Full Belly Deli and probably the Betsy? I don't know anyone else that does pizza locally. Debbie, does anyone else do pizza?
I don't know, is the Betsy open on Thursdays now?
That I don't know, so it might
I know
just
it's
be
been
Full
hit or
Belly
miss, so I
Deli.
don't know.
Okay,
Right, yeah, we try and spread it out as best we can.
yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. And I hope that people, now Debbie, I know you responded to your board members. that
Yeah, I think I have 2 in myself.
2 or 3, yeah.
Thank
three,
you.
yeah. So hopefully others will attend. Also, I guess I do want to say is that there's a lot of board positions that are open. So if you guys are interested in serving on a county board, it'd be great to have you do that.
I did apply for it.
Okay, good. And anybody that's out there watching the live stream, this is your call to action. Come participate in the process.
So if there's nothing else to come before the commission, we will adjourn at 11:16.
Dun, dun, dun.